weekend with some legislators, and for a lot of us it looks like a staring match. And I know you don't want to blink first, but at the same time there has to be some compromise. So kind of talk about where we're at right now.
We actually met Thursday, and Thursday the House said they were not going to give any more. Fortunately, they have a little bit since Thursday, but as recently as today, Cecil Brown told my staff that they had told me Thursday that they weren't going to agree to any savings in education or mental health, and was I not listening? Well, I have here what I think is a good budget, and it's a budget we can afford. You will see here that I have increased my budget to try to compromise with them by $47 million from the original budget, to try to have as a manner of compromise. The budget that I have proposed to them starting on Thursday and gave them the final hard copies today is $30 million more than the budget they agreed on in December. So the legislative budget recommendation, which the legislative leadership itself agreed on, is $30 million lower than what I've proposed. And what I've proposed is $47 million above my original proposal. In my mind, we're spending more money than I want to, but we are trying to reach a compromise. The House budget was $507 million above what we're going to take in. Okay? To their credit, as I said, they have come down to $475 million above what we're going to take in. I think that's too much. Remember, as a general rule, for every dollar they spend in fiscal year 12, it reduces our reserves by $1. Now, that's not 100%, but generally, spending goes up, reserves go down. So what I've asked them to do is cut spending about $50 million, and then the reserves would go up $100 million, so you'd have $50 million, so you'd have $100 million net improvement in your position for the next year. And in my proposal, we level fund MAEP, which has been one of the big issues here. Everybody agreed to level fund MAEP. But if you'll take your legal size sheet and you look over on page 2, you'll see everybody funds MAEP, which is line 56, the same. The 5 columns there are what we spent last year, what we're spending this year, my budget, what the Legislative Budget Committee recommended in December, the current House position, the current Senate position, and you can see on MAEP, line 56, we're all the same. Now, one thing that you'll notice, there's $20 million that goes into MAEP that they don't appropriate. And that's the difference. That $20 million will get added on. So we're all in agreement, no disagreement on MAEP. However, when we did MAEP for this year and for last year, we counted the $383 million of federal stimulus money that was given us for education. We spent that in 2 years, so it was about $190 million a year. I can't tell you that it was exactly the same each year, but I can tell you this year it is more than $180 million that is included in the $2,041 million, okay? But the House wouldn't agree to include that in the budget for next year. There is an additional $85 million of federal money that has now been given to us extra, just like that 180, 190 a year was given to us, that has been given to us to spend next year, okay? The way that came about, it's kind of complicated, but it's called education jobs money. It was in Obama's second stimulus package. Mississippi got about $96 million.